So hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. This is very first video of our new series called Firebase Authentication, and in this series we will be covering user login, user registration, auto login, email verification, profile picture updation, and resetting passwords and deleting account, and so many things we'll be covering in this series. So before actually starting a video, if you haven't subscribed our YouTube channel yet, then click on the subscribe button now, and don't forget to hit that bell icon and hit the like button. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. First we will create a Firebase project on the Firebase, firebase.google.com. It is the Google's product. So in this tutorial we will see authentication. So click onto the go to console. We will add a new project. I have already one, but we will create a new. We will name it Firebase testing. Continue. We don't need Google Analytics for this project, so I will disable this option and create project. It will take some time to create. So our project is ready, we can continue. So when you come to this screen, you will see there's an option of Unity. Click onto the Unity part. So we are building an Android app here, so we will register as Android app. We will go to our Unity project. So we need a bundle identifier, or say package name here. We will paste the package name here, and we will call it Firebase test and register our application. In the next step, we will download the Google JSON file that we will need for the configuration of Firebase. Download it. Next, add the Firebase SDK. I have already downloaded it, so I'm not gonna download it again. So you can download it. It will basically download your zip. Next. So we are all set. We can continue to our console. So now we have created our project. Now we need to integrate the authentication part. So click on the authentication. Get started. Here we want to select the sign-in methods. So in this tutorial we will see email and password sign-in. So we need email and password. We don't want passwordless sign-in for this tutorial, so just click on the save button and we are done. So here are options of users that we will create in Unity by registration method, and there are some users analytics, you can check it out. So let's jump onto the Unity now. Make sure this is .NET 4.x. Okay, so I am using the Unity 2019.4.18. So for this tutorial you should use 2019 or higher version, so to make sure everything should perfect according to this tutorial. Okay, so now we will import the JSON file that we have downloaded. So I will import this. So basically we can put anywhere inside our assets folder. So I will drop into my assets folder. So as I told, I have already downloaded the Firebase SDK. So I will just go, I have already unzipped it. So we are gonna using the .NET 4 version. So we will just drag the Firebase Auth.unity package into our project. Drag it and simply import it. It is gonna take some time. Okay, so enable the auto resolution. So now it will resolve the Android dependencies. It will take a little bit of time. Okay, so our Firebase integration is done. So let's see what I have done in this project. This is simple. I have created the register UI, and this is my login UI, and this is the only script that I have in this scene is the UI manager, where I just basically change the screens, like opening the login panel and opening the registration panel. That's all, and I have a instance of it. That's all. I will upload this project on the GitHub also, so you can find the project link below in the description. So in the Firebase folder we will create a script called Firebase Auth Manager. Firebase Auth Manager, yeah. So I will remove all these things, and from here I will paste my code step by step. So from here you should follow my procedure step by step, so you won't miss anything. So we will start from the namespaces. We don't need this, so we will need this namespaces. Mainly there is two Firebase namespaces called Firebase and the Firebase Auth. Now we need the required variables. So here is the variables. This are the Firebase variables. So this is the dependency status, and this is the auth, where we will get the sign up and the sign in methods, and this is the actually user that we will get after the registration and the login methods. This is my UI for the login, email and password, and for the registration there is a name, email, password and confirm password field. Now we will need our awake method. So here is awake, and in this method what we are doing is we are checking for the dependencies of the Firebase. If all the necessary dependencies are there in your project, then it will be available, or it will give you the dependency status. So now we need to initialize the Firebase. So we will initialize the Firebase just below of this. So here we are initializing the Firebase, and you can actually pause the video and copy the code step by step, so it will make sure that your code will also work fine as in the video. So in the initialize Firebase, what we are doing is we are setting the default instance of the Firebase auth, and there's an event that we are subscribing with the auth state change method. So whenever the state change, so we can get notified like we have signed out or we have signed in. So you can write it down by pausing the video. The next step is the login. So this is the actual method that we can use for the login. So here is our method. This is login, and this is the coroutine that actually handles the login tasks. So what we are doing here is we are creating a task of login, and we wait until the task got complete. If we get any exception, then we come inside this and we print out our exception. We get the best exception from here. This is called Firebase exception, and this returns us a auth error through the error code. And we have a switch case statement which can use for the different kind of errors like invalid email, wrong password, missing email or missing password. So if everything works fine, or if there is no exception, then we come into the else, and this is where we get the user, and in the debug we show the username. The next step is registration. So this is very pretty big one, so I will explain you everything. So in the registration we are first checking for the validation kind of things, like if we haven't put anything in the fields, or our user remains the fields empty, so we can check it here and say, hey, username is empty, or email field is empty, or maybe the password does not match, because if the password and the confirm password field does not match, so we will show the message that password does not match. So if everything is fine, so we come into the else, and in the else we create the registration task through the auth create user with email and password async, where we put the email and password that user gives here, and we wait until the registration task get completed. And if the registration task got any exceptions, it means it is not equal to null. So we came inside and we did the same as above. In the login we get the Firebase exception, through this we get the auth error, and we get the switch case statement for the same. And if we did not get any error, so what we need to do here is, whenever you register, so you need to update the profile of the user. So let's say in this we have updated the username, so whatever the name user has given in the form, like this name, so we have to update in his profile. So let's say this is a user profile, create new, assign the display name that user have put it in the form. Then we will create update profile task, and as same as above, we will wait until the user profile task get completed. Then if we find any error or exception, then we will do as the same as above. But as you can see here, if you get any error while updating the user profile in the registration, so we need to delete the user. Okay, then the errors, printing the failed messages, and if everything works fine, then here we will register the username. It means the registration has successfully done. So hope you got it. So make sure you follow step by step. If you haven't did that, go back and follow it. Okay, so we are good to go. Just save this script and we'll jump into the Unity. So we will create an empty game object here and say FirebaseAuth, and we will attach the script Firebase Auth manager. Here as you can see, this is our dependency status, and what we'll need to do is just put the references. This is the email of login, password, and in the registration just enable it, and in the registration we will put the name, email, password, and confirm password field. Then the next step that we need to do is we need to assign the methods that we have created, like login and registration, into the buttons. Okay, so Firebase, this is our registration, so we will put the Firebase Auth manager and the register. Same we will do with the login. Go into the footer. In this button we will attach the function of login, Firebase Auth manager login. So I think we are good to go. We can save it and let's play. Okay, so if let's say I put my name Solanki, Let's say if I just hit the register button now, so we'll get the error, email field is empty, so we need to fill it. I will put my password 123456, and let's say if you just do any random password, let's say 123, so I haven't entered the right password in the confirm password field. So what happen if I press the register button? So we get the error of password does not match. So it's working. So we will correct our password 123456 and just register now. As you can see, I got registered, registration successful, and welcome. After that I got my name that I put it here. So we should see our user here. So if I refresh it, as you can see, I got my user here. So now we can log in. Let's say go into this Aakash@test.com and 3456, and if I hit now login, so Aakash Solanki, you are successfully logged in. So we are done. We can also do one thing. If user gets successfully registered, so the login screen should directly enable. So for doing this, just come down, and when the registration gets successfully done, I have a UI manager as I showed in the start of the video instance, and I have a method that opens the login screen. So I will say open the login screen or panel here, so it will directly open the login. And if you want to do something on the login success here, when the user successfully signed in, so you can do so many things. So let's say in this tutorial what we can do is we can change the scene. Let's say in the game scene, so what we'll do is we will change the scene. So unity engine dot scene management dot scene manager load scene, and I have a game scene here in my project. There's a game scene that I have already added in my build setting. So I will copy the name of my game scene here, and in that scene I'm showing a message with the username, and I have a static reference with the script called references, which holds just a static string called username. So we will update this. So let's say references username is equals to user.displayname. So now we will create a new user, display. Okay, so let's say test@test.com, the password 123456 same, and just register. So as you can see on the registration successful method, we open our login panel. So when we log in, we should switch to the game scene. So I will put my email address here, test.com 123456, and I will log in. And as you can see, I switched to my game scene, and I got my message here, test, you are successfully logged in. So hope guys this was helpful, and this was it for this video. In the next video we will see how to handle auto login in the Firebase, and we are gonna cover many things in this series regarding the Firebase authentication. So stay tuned for that, and take care.